I've been investing in the stock market for a little over 7 years now, and there's been so many valuable lessons that I've been able to learn along the way. So I thought I'd just share some things that helped me grow my own Robinhood account from $0 to well over $100,000 now today that might hopefully help you get there as well. Now, growing your own investment account into that six-figure range, of course, doesn't have to be done on Robinhood. It's just the brokerage app that I've used ever since I started, and to this day, it's been a great brokerage app for me with little to no complaints. Now, something I absolutely love about investing is that you really don't need to be a financial expert to do well in the stock market. At this point, I probably have a little bit above average of an understanding of financial markets and stocks and even derivatives and things like that. But I don't have too much of a financial background. I only graduated with a business degree, so again, you really don't need to know that much to do well over time in the stock market. The very first thing that comes to mind when growing an investment account is something that might sound obvious and maybe hard for some of you to hear, but you do need to have a job or some form of active income to allow you to add capital every month into your investment account. As incredible as it sounds to be able to take $500 and turn it into $100,000 within the matter of a month, it's just frankly not realistic at all. So whether you are working at the brewery making $20 an hour, or if you are a lawyer making 30 grand a month, it's extremely important to consistently add money into your account every month. And it really doesn't have to be that much. It can be as little as $100 a month. And doing this consistently is really going to get that ball rolling. And then once you're on a schedule of funding your account every month, the next really important thing to do, especially if you're just starting out, is really focusing on buying high quality growth ETFs. Now, I'm not just saying that because ETFs are the number one thing that I talk about the most on my channel. It's honestly because I made the mistake of not buying ETFs when I was just starting out 7 years ago. I would kind of just buy random stocks or meme stocks that I knew nothing about and kind of played the hope strategy by crossing my fingers that they would go up. And as you can imagine, that didn't go well at all for me. And there was even a time where I was down over 75% in my own account. So in my opinion, one of the best ways to start out is buying those high quality growth ETFs. One of my favorites is SCHG, the Schwab Large Cap Growth ETF, that I still own to this day in my portfolio with a 77% return. There's also the high momentum ETF called SPMO, or you could just stick with the classic S&P 500 ETFs like VOO or even VOOG. So there's a lot of options out there, but you really don't need too many ETFs because a lot of them do hold the same stocks. So if it were up to me, I would honestly have most of my portfolio in SCHG if I were to do it all over again. And there's nothing wrong with owning individual stocks in your portfolio, especially if you diversify your holdings into many different sectors or industries. But I really think that you're just better off buying and holding high growth ETFs, especially if you don't want to spend multiple hours a week analyzing different growth stocks. Now, another very key factor when growing your account to 100K is the importance of not only patience, but mental and emotional grit. We have had some pretty amazing years in the stock market recently, but inevitably, stocks will fall 10, 20, or 30%. And sometimes these bear markets last for multiple months and sometimes over a year. And in a bear market, as hard as it is watching your account decrease in value month over month and watching everyone online panic, it's more important than ever to continue funding your account every month and buying even more shares, so that when stocks eventually recover like they always do, your own account will come out on top and reach those all-time highs again. I remember back in 2022 when stocks had been declining for about 11 months in a row, and it was basically the bottom of the market, and everyone online was just screaming recession. It was like every other tweet I was reading had something to do with us being in a recession and that stocks will just continue declining. Even the famous Big Short investor, Michael Burry, tweeted the word sell. That's all he said was sell. Then right after that, literally days later, the market just absolutely rallied, and the S&P 500 ever since then is up nearly 60%. So there's really nothing more important than dollar cost averaging into your holdings every month, no matter what the market does, and doing this for years on end. And I know this all might sound extremely basic and simple, but this is honestly all I've really been doing for the past 7 years now in my own investing account. And by doing this, I've been able to reach that $100,000 milestone. So let me know in the comments kind of what your investing goals are and your plans to get there, and I will see you all next time.